All right. Hello, beautiful beings. How are you today? It is good to see you, and I'm so looking forward to reading for you today. I see that we have lots of questions already. Let me know if you're here live, because if so, your question will get answered first. It's wonderful to see you all. And for those of you joining in for the first time, let me know where you're from. Please follow and subscribe to my page, and I will look forward to pulling some cards for you. So as always, I just like to start this hour with the energy for the week. What do we need to know, and what's going on? What's going to support us in the collective flow? And so the first thing I'm going to do is pull a card from the Ascended Masters deck. It's one of my favorite. Hi, Toshika. I'll make sure to get your question. How are you doing? Okay. Oh, such a good card. I think we all need this for our week. So it's the energy. Hi, Kritika. It's good to see you. I'm good. So Ganesha is our energy for the week. And so to me, this card is all about removing obstacles. It's telling you to go for what you want to go for, but I see it even more as like help is there. Things might feel stressful, things might feel stuck, you might not feel very clear. And know that like help is on its way. Ganesha is here to be the obstacle for the obstacles and to support us into removing obstacles. So know that life is on your side this week and that there is a lot of energy and support there for you. So if you're like me, things are tough, right? Like things in the collective aren't super easy right now. On a day to day and every moment, we're sort of just being asked to trust and to surrender and to trust and surrender. And so that card makes me really happy to pick it just to remind us, right, that we're good. All is well, and there's a lot of help out there. I do have an awesome Ganesha mantra on my YouTube channel, so feel free to look for it. I think I have two of them. I think it's the same mantra, but different mudras. And I also want to pull an herbal card and see if there's anything here that wants to come through for us. What do we need to know, and what can support our system right now in the highest possible good? Mm. The energy of mullein. And mullein is a perfect herb for this time of year for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, in that it's all about supporting lung health and respiratory. It's this beautiful sort of fuzzy plant. It's got fuzzy green leaves, and then this yellow stalk grows up. And it's very supportive to our voice, to our energy, to the flow. And then this card, the focus of this card is integration. You can see the spider web and all these different aspects around it. There's the full moon, there's a moth, there's an energy of a brain and an inkhorn and the heart and movement of the boat. And so, along with our beautiful Ganesha, I'm like, this is so good. A lot of integration, so more peace this week, I think, a lot more settling, and then a lot of support. And again, my light just keeps glaring. I do apologize. Um, but yeah, I think this is going to bode to be a good week for us all. And the support we need will be there. So be gentle with yourselves, let yourself rest, but even most importantly, allow yourself to, yeah, enjoy. So that being said, we'll get on to some readings. Hi, Powerfully Soul. Good to see you. Okay, we'll see. I will check in about that soon. So let me know if you've posted questions before I started. If you're here, I see Toshika and Kritika. I'm going to start with you two. And then Powerful Soul, if no one else is live that had posted a question already, you'll be next. Okay. So Toshika, let's see. I'm going to go with the Rider-Waite deck for these. And these are about your friends I think you asked about. So Bhumika and Nilesh. And what do we need to know about their marriage? And so I'm happy to know that they have made, well, maybe they haven't made a decision yet, but that they're still sort of in the flow of life and together and looking at where do we go from here? So what does Bhumika and Nilesh need to know right now? Hey, Tamara, it's good to see you. Yeah, they're in a processing phase, I would say right now. It's not really answering the question about the marriage or their choices. There will be some clarity and awareness coming for them. But the first three cards I've picked are pretty hard cards. And I'm not sure I know exactly what's going on. I have a sense. And again, because of it's YouTube, I don't really want to share like to the fullest hate space. Hi, Kritis, good to see you. Um, so we have the first is like, it feels like something's been taken from them. So I think they're feeling right now, there's a lot of uncertainty, not necessarily within their love, but about the choices. And it's like they're feeling like they don't have a choice, or even within their choices, they don't have choices. Hey, Mina, good to see you. And so I think they're feeling like they're like that things have been taken from them and it's painful. And there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of upset, there's a lot of nightmares, like just not feeling like they're in control of the situation or that they know what to do. It's not a time for partying and having fun. It's really like, oh my God, it's like almost like everything we were wanting or everything that we had in front of us is like no longer there. And so what do we do? So my sense is for them right now, Tashika, is they're just in it. And some of that has to shift before clarity is going to come. It will shift. It's still going to be a little bit of time. And again, it was not going to be a super amount of time. They're going to come to something soon, but like even these next like couple weeks, it's like they're just in it. There's like a grieving that's happening. There's a excuse my language, everybody. There's like a holy shit that's happening, and there's like a what do we do, right? And then there's going to come to a place of Five of Cups in reverse is sort of like, oh, everything is okay. And from here, they're going to be able to move forward in a very grounded and supported way. It's the Knight of Pentacles. There might even be, I don't see support coming from someone else. There might be, but it's more like them coming to a space where they just know what's right and they move forward in that way. And so yeah, that's my sense. It's not an answer of like where they're going. It's more like an answer to say they don't need to know right now. They need to be in their process of like assimilating everything that's happening. And probably within 2 to 3 weeks, they're going to have a better sense and a better idea, a better clarity of how to move forward. And they're going to feel at peace with whatever it is that they decide. And I'm happy to check in with it again as we get closer. Yeah, didn't see anything really clear. There's nothing super clear about that. Let me just see. I'll put one more card. Right now, it's more about like being in it than like the for sure 100%. I do see new beginnings are powerful and possible. So yes, there's a potential and a chance that they're going to be married, and that it will be the powerful beginning of something new. So with that card or with asking for that extra insight, I think that that will probably be the direction that they go. So I hope that helps. So we're going to go with Kritika next. Powerful Soul, be she turned in live. Tamara, Kriti, Mina, and Soulful. I'm going to go in the order you guys are here now. So I'm really good, Kritika. Let me see what your question was. So your question was about Omnis. Should remember his name. Ami's current feelings towards you. Okay. So I think this is somewhat similar to like what was going on last week. And this is one of the things that happens when I do the similar readings a lot. Is like it comes up the same, but it also like doesn't necessarily give as much clarity. So number one, the High Priestess is like you're sort of turned upside down. It's in reverse. This was the last card I picked. It's like there's this self-doubt and the self-guessing. And it's like, can I trust? Can I trust the situation? Can I trust what he's feeling? Can I trust how he's showing up? Does he like me? Does he not like me? And you're getting really mixed messages, right? There's the Two of Pentacles. I think this is more the messages coming towards you than what he's feeling. Or maybe he's feeling, well, I like her, I'm not sure. Or I want this, or I'm not sure, right? It could be back and forth, but I think that's more the signals that are coming. And he's not ready to commit, and he's not ready to really like show up in the highest possible way or the highest possible space. And then we have the Eight of Cups, which is the first card that I picked, and it's sort of like leaving it behind, leaving the fullness behind. And again, I see this more about you than for him. I think he's at a place right now where he's not in a space of really ready to commit or show up in the highest way, in the way that you really want him to, or you really need him to. And so in doing that, it's like you feel like, well, it's like I'm topsy-turvy. I don't know what to do. And it's almost like the cards are saying, like, can you step back, right? Can you let him come to you? Can you trust that he'll come to you? Because right now, all the energies you're putting on it, it's like you're more affected than you could be. And so he's in a place of like still like just not fully able to show up in his highest space. And you're ready, right? You're ready for that in your life. And so I would ask for that, but know that it might not be coming through him at this time. Okay, powerful soul. Are you still here, powerful soul? I'm going to read for you. Um, so does Ujwal Puri genuinely, hi, motivation, good to see you. We've got about 4 or 5 people in front of you right now. And so, powerful soul, does Ujwal Puri generally and truly love me like he likes to? Okay, beautiful. And hi, Aprajita. Be there in a little bit. Beautiful. Okay, so some mixed messages here too, and then at the same time, no. So by no, yes, he does. What he's saying and how he's showing up is true. So when I said no, it's like some of the mixed messages aren't really mixed messages. So he seems like quite a serious young man or a serious man, and he's someone that doesn't take things lightly, and he moves forward in a very steady way. Sometimes it can be a little bit slow. He's wanting to move. He's had a lot of strong feelings for you for a long time, and he's really waited on them to make movement. And now there's like this movement, there's this flow. He's expressing himself. But on some level, with the Fool in reverse, he's like scared to take like the full leap. So I don't know if the full leap means marriage. I don't know if it means like really jumping into something bigger. There's something that he's scared of. It's more within himself. In his mind, you are his woman. I want to be very clear about that. And he is going to keep coming towards you. My pleasure, Kritika. He's going to keep coming towards you in a very slow and methodical way. Be patient sometimes if it's slower than you think it is, but he's very loyal and he's really going to show up. And sometimes you might get sort of mixed messages or be like, okay, I'm ready for more. Or is he going to take that final step, right? Yes, like he is committed to you at least as as much as in your age or your energy he can be. And you're like his queen. It's the 9 of Pentacles. Like he loves you. He wants to take care of you. He sees you as this beautiful woman that he really wants to nourish and wants to nourish this relationship and this energy with you. So my sense is yes. And just know that sometimes you might get a little impatient or maybe not trust because he says one thing and then you're like, but I want more, or I'm like, ready, show it to me. He'll show it in his own time. He'll move in his own time, but it's very, very clear. Yeah, that he's devoted. So Tamara, it's good to see you. I am very good. How are you doing? And where are you coming from today, Tamara? Um, Okay, what is coming towards you in terms of love? Let's see. Yeah, it's good to see you, Pooja. And beautiful. Okay. And so I'm going to read through the order just so everyone knows where they're at. We're doing Tamara's right now. And then we've got Kriti, Meena, Soulful, Motivation, Aprajita, and then whoever else wants to leave a message. Okay. Montenegro, beautiful. It's good to see you, Meena. Okay. Yeah, my pleasure. Okay, so Tamara, what's coming up in terms of love? Oh, you got something coming. Oh, yeah. I don't have clarity. Might ask, let me just see. Yeah, there's no clarity really on the man that's going to show up. Hi, Ari. It's good to see you. It's been a while. So we have the nine of wands in reverse. And so not in reverse, right side up. So what this tells me is that you've been burned in love before, Tamara. And yeah, Pooja, feel free to ask. And so like you're sort of like, I'm ready, but am I really ready? And is it coming my way? And like, like you've been sort of like on guard, maybe like having some bad dates too, not being able to find the right person. And so all I got for you regarding love is like you will be victorious. There is energy coming to you and movement coming to you. We've got the world and the fool. So something big is coming your way. I want to say quite soon, then the next 6 weeks to 2 months, when I was asking the question, I was thinking about 3 months within that time range. And this is like within like two cards, we've got two major arcana. So the world is like fullness. It's like it's here for you. It's going to come. Everything's coming. And then the fool is like a new beginning. And sometimes it's like, oh, be a little careful, be a little cautious. You don't know what's coming, but I don't see that for you in this one. I see it more as that it will feel right. It's going to be a new adventure. It's going to be big and alive. You don't have to look for it. It's going to come for you. So yeah, exciting things are coming your way and sooner sooner than you think. And you can trust. You can trust in this when it comes, when it opens up for you. Okay. So our next reading is for Kriti, and then we're going to do a reading for Meena. So Kriti, Anisha's feelings, and then Meena's is going to be Farad's. Okay. So Kriti's feelings. Okay. Anisha's feelings, sorry. Yeah, thank you, Tamar. It's my pleasure. It's very beautiful to get the readings. And that's one of the things like when like I was just saying earlier, like so when we ask similar questions about like the same person or people, it's not that we can't have amazing readings. It's just sometimes like it doesn't come through as clear or as strong. It's just, yeah. So when it's like a reading I haven't done for someone in a while, or it's about a new subject, oftentimes the reading will be like, boom. When it's like, oh, I'm just checking in on this again, it's sort of like, oh, this is what's going on. And there might be more messages for the person that I'm reading for than about the actual question. Okay, so Anish for Kriti. Feel free to like my page, to subscribe and follow if you haven't already. I'm here every Tuesday at 2. So my sense, I'm going to leave it there. My sense for you right now, Kriti, and I can't remember if this card came up for you last week. I don't think it was for you. I think it might have been for Soulful, but we got the Wheel of Fortune, right? So karma is working its way out for you. And right now, it's like more fortunate, like it spins, right? So there's the up and down, there's the ebb and flow. And so my sense is with some of the stuff with Anish is that it's coming to a place where he might be ready to make some action, or there might be some energy of action. And then reason why I say that is that we have the 8 of Pentacles right side up, and then we have the 7 of Cups in reverse. And so this tells me like that there is like work or directed movement, grounded movement working in one direction. And this sort of means the end of fantasy, right? So there's going to be some clarity or some energy coming to you on some level. Now, this could mean romance, or it could mean like, oh, like it's time for me to move on, right? Like something's going to happen where things are going to open up for you. And again, it could happen soon. With the Wheel of Fortune, I would say in the next 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to start to notice, oh, something's shifting, something bigger is happening. This feels good. There's movement or something happening. And then it's going to be like, oh, clarity with that Eight of Pentacles. And then it's like, okay, the illusions are gone. I know which direction this is happening. So again, instead of like a real clear, well, this is how he's feeling with for you, I think it's more saying this is like what you need to know and what is going to open up for you around that. So beautiful. Okay. Great, Ari. You will be after Pooja. Have you put your question yet? Put your question down so you get on there. You'll be, I think, after Aprajita. Okay, cool motivation. We're on Mina, and then I think we're on Soulful, and then you. Okay. So what does Mina need to know? Perfect. Great. My pleasure, Kitty. Yeah, so Mina, it's really similar on some level. And again, I see these cards more for you than necessarily for Farhad. And I know a bit about the situation, but it's like the beginning that was taking place, or this energy shift, or this flow that was taking place. It's in reverse, and it's feeling very held up. Now, Farhad is still a very attractive, strong, fiery, creative man. He has passion and energy and feelings for you, but like he's not able or ready to show up in the full way that you need him to. Some of the energy that was sort of moving for him, especially perhaps towards this old flame or old person in that sense, that's not going anywhere. That's sort of stagnant for him. And so that's good on some level. But, I keep getting this card, and this came up in another reading earlier today, the Eight of Cups, where it's like, it's sort of on one level time for you perhaps to move on. And that doesn't mean that like if something happens with him, it's bad. It's great when he's ready to show up. But it's like you've put so much of your dreams and so much of your energies in there, and he's still sort of moving through all his stuff. And there's these real opportunities, and again, ability for you to come into the High Priestess and to come into your higher self. Now, on one level, asking the question, this is how he sees you. He sees you as the priestess. He sees you as this beautiful, strong, amazing woman. And at the same level, it's also about a sense of ownership within yourself, and a space of ownership within yourself where you truly own your powers and you own who you are. And again, it's all a process. So I think you're coming into that more and more, and definitely will continue to unfold in that way. But he's going through a lot, and he hasn't fully like done his work. Okay. Soulful, I'm going to read you next, and then we go to motivation, and then Aprajita. If you guys can let me know if you're here, that would be great. And so Soulful, just trying to find your question. I know it was on here. Okay, Soulful, I can't answer your question until you, perfect. Who is it that you're inquiring about? Because I can't find your initial question. Okay. Nope, you're next. Not next, Pooja. You're about 4 down the line. Okay, Medi's feelings and intentions. Okay. Okay, beautiful. Hey, it's good to see you, Ozir. So I'm going to tell you, this really does not make sense to me, Saida, when I see this. Hold on. Because the last few cards, or last few times we've done the readings for Midi, it's been really very positive. And I'm wondering if he's going through something. And I'm wondering if there's something that is affecting him that's really hard right now that has nothing to do with you, right? Because the first card we have is the Three of Swords in reverse. And then I've got the Hermit. So I've got a sense that he might be going through some sort of pain or some sort of energy that's really affecting him. I don't know if he's lost someone close to him, if he's going through a period of fear in his life, but he's sort of wanting to withdraw a little bit and wanting to withdraw into himself. My sense is this has nothing to do with you, and it has nothing to do with like how he feels about you. But there's a sense of withdrawing and going inward because he's working with his own pain or some of his own stuff at this time. He's still when he show up, there's still this energy, this movement, this force. When he comes down, when he does some of the healing, comes down off the mountains. Hi, Bob. It's really good to see you. And so when that happens, there's going to be, again, some flow. You're feeling a little bit pressured in the sense of you're like, I need to work. I need to make things go. Yeah, so he's probably stressed about the exam. I think that's probably what it is. Because like I said, every time I read into you guys, it's really positive. So I think this is more his internal stuff, right? And so then we got the Knight of Wands. When that's done, he's going to have more energy. And then you're like, okay, like what's happening? And he's like, I don't want to work. I don't want to do this anymore. He might still be stressed. We have the Star in reverse. He might still be stressed. He might not still be able to show up in his highest potential or the highest space and way that you are used to him and expecting him to on some level. But again, it doesn't have anything to do with you. And for you, we've got the Four of Wands then at the very end. It says it's still, everything's going to be fine. It's like happy family, contentment, soothing energy like settling, but it just takes some time. So let him be in his process right now. Know that when he's in his stress, know that if he's not feeling like himself, he's not pulling away from you, but it's more the process that he needs to go through. Okay. And it will, again, it's, the next 2 to 3 weeks, not super long. Okay. So we've got Aprajita. Let me know if you're here. We're going to do motivation next, and then we are going to do Ari and then Pooja, unless Aprajita is here. Yes, Nettie, you could. It's going to be a little while, though, okay? Oh, and Aprajita's here. So we've got her after motivation. My pleasure. And so, Nettie, you're probably like 6 or 7 in line. So I just want to come and I want to say hi to Bob. I'm curious to know how you're doing, Bob. I'd love to hear. Feel free to ask a question if you want. And I also want to comment on Ozier's comment about not feeling much energy these days. So you missed the beginning. I pulled a Ganesha, which means obstacles for this week are going to be cleared, and also integration, which is going to be really positive. Know that collectively we are going through an intense time. And so these moments of tiredness and these waves of tiredness are very, very normal. And on some level, I think like we're just feeling it as a collective. Okay, so let's see, where am I at? Did I say motivation was next? I think so. If I said someone else first, let me know. So motivation, what blessings will happen with Smith and you together in love this year? Okay. And if you're just joining, it's great to see you. I'm coming to you live from Nashville. Please feel free to let me know where you're from, to like and follow my page, and yeah, to leave a question if you like. I think we'll have time for a few more. This is for Smith and motivation. Where are you coming from, motivation? Oh yeah, things are good. Yeah, I'm gonna pick 3. Yeah. So be patient. I was gonna say it's these men, right? Like these men like that are needing us to be patient right now. We've got the 8 of Pentacles, all these like men that are moving slow motion, doing the work. Like they're doing the work, they're moving slowly. They're like, I got to do what I got to do. But we've got the Star. Wishes will come true. Things are opening up for you. Trust in the process, open to it. And then I would say even better than the Star, we have the 10 of Cups. So it's fullness and fulfillment, and definitely romance and love. So it feels really, really, really good, motivation. So be patient and keep connecting with that. Oh, it's wonderful. So yeah, keep connecting, keep trusting, and being in that space. Yeah, just be patient. Like I said, like who are a lot of the guys that we're doing the readings for today are a little bit slower. Yes, Pooja from India. Beautiful. So, okay, so was Puja next or Aprajita was next? Okay, I'm going to go through it. Aprajita was next. And then after Aprajita is Puja, I think, or is Ari, and then Puja. And then we'll go from there. And Bob, I'm sorry that things are still hard. You've been through a lot and it's normal for it to take this time, and I'll definitely pull some cards for you. Okay. So Satya's thoughts for Aprajita. What do we need to know about the future for Aprajita and Satya? Hmm. So good things. It's really nice to see. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop it with three because the other cards they're good, but they don't continue the story any further. So first of all, like I see really good things for you guys. I see a life of luxury, yeah, of luxury on some level, of good things. It's the Chariot, movement, travel, luxury, spiritual growth, connection, um, being in the balance of each other, right? Flow. So that feels really, really, really good. Page of Swords, sometimes he sends a little bit of mixed messages, but like he wants to connect. He's there for you. And there might be a message coming towards you soon. So clarification on your relationship or something like that opening up, and celebration, fun and laughter and joy and happiness. And so I see a lot of positive things for you. It feels very clear. It feels simple. And it feels overall like the foundation is going to be one, both of like prosperous growth and then also spiritual growth. So it's really good, Apajita. I'm very excited for you. Okay. So next we're going to go to Ari. What does she need to know about her career life? I'm unemployed at the moment and looking for a job. And then we're going to work with Pooja and then Ozier. So that's 24/7 travel. And then Nettie and then Ozier, not Ozier, Ozier. Sorry if I'm pronouncing. Yes. Pooja, did I just do you? Yeah, Pooja, you're soon. So Pooja's after Ari. Ari, are you still here? Let me know. I'm just going to read for you because it's easier for me to go and tell you to go back and find it otherwise. So what does Ari need to know about her career life? This is a good one. I like to switch up the romance one sometimes because it's like, okay, like what does Spirit have in store? Let's see. Hmm. Something creative is coming your way. Hold on. We'll stop at the major arcanas. So my sense is you've been feeling a little bit challenged, Ari. And I love this is the Queen of Wands. It's fire, Ari, the Ari's princess, right? Like there's that fire energy in you. And you're like, oh, I don't feel any of these jobs, or I don't feel any of the space. And I feel a little bit constricted or congested. And there just isn't that energy there. And it's hard because you've probably been looking a little bit, or at least feeling like I'm not motivated. I'm not finding that right fit. And so one of the recommendations that comes is like, stop stressing out about it. I know it's so much easier to say, but like sort of like let it go a little bit. Even if you're like, for the next week, I'm going to just let it go. I'm going to stop trying to figure out every movement I do. And I'm going to just see what flows and what happens, and coming into that space, because there's a real creative opportunity opening up for you. There is that magician energy. It's like the weaving together of everything. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is also here and it's in reverse, which means it might take some time to get off the ground. It might be something, it's going to bring fortune, but it just might take some time. So what I'm curious about this is if your approach for a creative venture, maybe your approach for like a startup, startup or something, or you find something that you feel really like excited about or connected about. And then it's like, how do I move this energy in there? And how do I move this energy and get this flowing? And my invitation for you is, if your heart sings, is go for it. If it feels like exciting, go for it, because there's going to be a really powerful opportunity. But it also might take some time to get off the ground. So it's not necessarily going to be the highest paying job right away. Maybe it's going to be a little bit lower money than you want. Maybe it's going to be like, well, we can't pay you for like 3 or 4 weeks, right? Something like that may be getting in the way, but it feels alive and it feels exciting. And that's what you want to move and get that energy towards. Okay. So I'll write a note, Ari, just in case you're not here, and let you know that this is about, oh no, what time we are at. Sometimes it tells me how long I've been on. Today it does not. So it's not telling me, that's fine. Okay. Beautiful. That is very, very true there. Okay. So then the next one is for Pooja. Pooja, it's for you. And then we're going to go to Ozair. So we've got, please let me know about Ramachandran and our thoughts for the future and feelings for you. Okay. Also, I don't know if any of you guys are awake, but I'm in a live rodeo show. I guess all you in India, like you're awake in the middle of the night. But I am doing a half-hour live show where I get to spend a little bit more time on the readings. People get to call in. And yeah, so it's every Tuesday night or Wednesday night at 9 Central Time, whatever that means for you. And it's really fun because I get to slow down a little bit. I only do 2 readings during the half an hour session. And yeah, I get to spend a little bit more time. So it's fun. Okay. So Ramachandran for Pooja. So interesting how some of the same cards are coming up today. Okay, so I'm seeing like release from bondage, some movement soon. And again, I'm going to stop it here. Let me just ask for clarity. Yeah, so there isn't tons of clarity. So it sounds to me in the sense that, he's got a lot going on. There's a sense for you of like, can I trust this, or what's going on? It's that same old 9 of Wands. I think I've picked this like 4 times today. And this sense of like, finding it unable to settle or relax into like what is, like you're feeling like stuck and held. And something's going to happen soon, like within the next week soon, where there's going to be a release from bondage. We have the 8 of Swords in reverse and the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. And with both of these, it's like whatever's been holding you into place is going to let things go. It's going to let things shift. You're going to have an exhale. You're probably going to have a little bit more clarity on what's going on for you. And there's going to be a sense of being able to relax a little bit about things. So that means that he might speak up about some of his feelings. It means that there might be more clarity about like what's happening or what's going on in your relationship or in your life. There's a sense maybe even of like, I don't have to hold myself so much anymore. I don't know if that means 100% that he's going to show up fully, right? There might be others that show up, or friends or whatever, that are also there to support you and help you. And so it's like just to know, there, like, I don't think that you're going to have like a clear answer or clear like message for you that's going to say, okay, this is what we're doing, this is where we're going, this is what's happening. But there is going to be a sense of a little bit of release and relief, where it's like, you're like, I don't have to keep staying on guard. He's still going through stuff. So we have the King of Cups in reverse. He wants to show up, right? He wants to show up in a loving way. He wants to show up in a way that he's able to meet you or meet anyone, right? But he's in reverse. So he's still struggling with stuff. He might be struggling with some depression. He might be struggling with some emotional stuff. And so some of what on one level is for your knowing of what's next or where to go is for him to come into a space where he's feeling more connected with himself and able to express it. And that's going to take some time. That's when I asked for clarification, what was there. For you, though, there's going to be something that shifts into your energy field in the next week or two, where you're going to be like, okay, I feel a lot better about this and in this space. So, yeah, I know. Yeah, no, I know. I think, and I'm not sure if I remember exactly about what you've shared with me about Ramachandran. I don't know that you're going to get a message from him. I don't know what it's going to be, but something perhaps coming towards you. Like I said, there's a relief, a release, and a relief from bondage. It's not that he's hurt. It's not that that's something wrong with him, nothing like that. But it's just maybe it'll even be like a dream. Maybe it'll be something like that. Maybe he will send you a message, but it won't be a message of like love or even a handwritten message, but maybe it'll be like, I don't know that he's going to send you money, but something like that, right? And so just know, like, he's still in his process. He wants to get better. He wants to do well. But he's still moving through his, I don't want to say demons, but moving through that space with his demons on some level. So I'm holding you in so much love, Pooja, so much love. Okay. Yeah, I can imagine it's very difficult. I can imagine so much. And again, something will shift within you. So, okay. So we're going to Ozier next. And then Nettie, let me know what you would like your reading on today. And then Bob. So Ozier, Nettie, and Bob. Okay, we definitely got time for those three. I think he does want to make this better, Pooja, but he doesn't know how to. And I think he's got to figure it out on his own self and in his own energies. And unfortunately, like, I just want to be honest, right? Unfortunately, he needs to figure that out. And you can't, I don't want to say you can't keep waiting, because I know on some level it's like, and especially in your culture, it's like you're in this space of sort of like, well, what else do I do? But like, you can't be holding that on for him, or holding that space for him, because he has to do it. You can hold it in your dreams, in your prayers. Pray to Ganesha. Like I said earlier, that's one of the first cards I drew for our collective. It's like, pray to Ganesha, ask Ganesha for the help. Maybe even do a couple pujas, or like at the temple, right? Like go and like do some fire yagyas or ceremonies for it. And that's like a way that you can help or work with that. Okay, so let's check in with you, Ozier, and that sense of the Iceland visa and all that. Oh, it's stressful, I know. Beautiful. Thanks for joining. Like and follow my page if you haven't already. It's good to see you all. Hmm. Well, I'm getting some interesting cards for you, Ozier. Okay, so it's going to take some time. I'm curious. I'm laughing because you've got some like love cards coming up for you, and so I'm just smiling. I don't know if there's a love interest there or potential love interest, but something like that is going to sort of take your mind away, perhaps a little bit. Just an energy and a connection. It doesn't need to be like romance. It can be a close friendship or something like that. But I do see some stalls for you right now. Some of this could be around your energetics. Some of it could just be the process. Things just might take a little bit longer than you think. By a little bit longer, I'm not talking about years, right? But like, you might be like, oh, I'm going to get it in and it's going to get going and I'm going to hear back by February or March. It might be a little bit longer than that, right? Like it might be May or June. I don't want to put May or June in there. I'm not getting clarity about that, but I'm just getting a sense of that. But that the outcome is the star. You're going to get your hopes. You're going to have things flow. Everything's going to work in the most divine timing, right? And things are going to really, really open up for you. But right now, it just feels a little bit sticky, right? We've gotten this card a lot today too. 8 of Cups in reverse. It's like, you're ready to go. You're like, I'm going to leave things. I'm ready to go. And it's like, oh, but it's like the time isn't happening. There isn't the energy. There isn't the flow. And so some of that might be because of the love or the love energy. I don't think so. I think it's more just bureaucratic and stuff like that. But we said in the meantime, we have the Queen of Cups and the Page of Cups. So new romance or new potential for romance coming this way, or a deep connection with someone that could be romantic partner or just a good friend, definitely feminine, someone who perhaps is a water sign or a water moon energy, someone who is emotional and creative and thinks out of the box, right? Able to open up to a different level. Hi, Amber. It's good to see you. I do think we have time for a reading for you today. So feel free to ask your question if you like, and you might be the last one. Okay, right. So the admission is for January, February 2025. So for starting January. So there is a chance that you might not get into that admission. I don't want to tell you you're not going to, because you could very well get in, but it's going to be like not a bumpy, but it's not like, oh, yes, I got it. You might get on a wait list. There might be a couple other steps you have to do, because then we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, which is like, yes, there's a new beginning happening, and there's a stillness or a staleness happening, right? So it's just a lot of waiting. And so with that comes sort of stress, and comes a little bit of challenge. But then we've got the Star. It's all going to work out. Trust it's all going to work out. And that's the hardest bit. So not that it's like, oh, you should go on some dates or something in between. But like, yeah, just stay open for connection right now. Stay open for friendship right now, right? And it could be someone in your country. It could also be like, I don't know if you're like internet chat groups or things like that, but it might be a connection you make in a space like that too, right? And it doesn't have to be like your life partner, but just someone that you connect with and share messages and connect with them that way. And so know that that's something that is in the field for you and there for you. Okay. All right. Hope that helped, and sending you love. Okay, so we're doing a general reading for Nettie next, and then we're going to check in with Bob. And then, yeah, Amber, if you are here and you have a question, please feel free to leave it. Otherwise, I'll probably close up after Bob today. It's a beautiful day outside, and yeah, the sunshine is calling. My voice is still not great either. Tennessee allergies. Okay, so a general reading for Nettie. Yes, I would date around your city for fun, and then in Iceland too, right? But like definitely like date in your city. If there's someone that interests you, I would say go out. It's the energy's out there for you. Okay, so what does Nettie need to know? Thanks, Pooja. I'm pretty joyful. Hi, Lizzie. It's good to see you. Pretty joyful most of the time. The other thing that keeps happening with these readings, this is actually really good. But it's like there's these back and forths. Oh, Nettie, you got some big stuff coming for you. And I know you've already got some stuff going on right now, just with some of the readings we've done in the past. So there's a couple different things. So there's a couple back and forths happening. One of the things, I'm going to go straight ahead at the very end of your reading, we've got 4 major arcana cards. So there's some bigger forces and bigger energies here at work. We had some major arcana cards in your last reading that we did around relationship. Know that there is more balance coming, and there is more flow coming, and there's also some movement coming and energy moving. So we start with the 4 of Cups in reverse. And something's happening or going to happen that's sort of shaking you awake a little bit, shaking you out of that energy of the devil that was there last week, and just sort of like, okay, what is it that's here? And what is it that I really want to work with? And with that clarity of what you want to work with, it's sort of getting really clear on what you want and speaking towards that. I see this more than just about relationship. There's something in your life, or there's some action in your life that you're wanting to make some movement and shift towards. But it's the Seven of Swords in reverse, and right side up. And so it's saying, be careful that you're moving from your heart and that you're moving in integrity. Everything's going to turn out okay. We have the Nine of Cups right side up. It's sort of like prosperity and wealth, and your wishes are going to come true. So you don't need to move out of fear. So when we're looking at work, or we're looking at like next steps in other areas other than relationships, it's like, stay true to your integrity, stay true to your space, and know that things will very much like open up for you. Especially, you don't need to like move out of fear. You don't need to move out of a way that doesn't feel in alignment. And then there's this space of like, can I trust? Okay, you can totally trust. Fortune is on your side. When Wheel of Fortune's in reverse, it can sometimes feel like there's some blocks, or things are stuck. Things have been spinning very fast for you, right? There's a lot of energy that's been spinning. So it's like, how do I find my footing? Where do I go with this? How do I move with this? Balance is coming, a space of balance, a space of connection. And when that space of balance and connection within yourself happens, then there's going to be this time for coming down off the mountain. And so it's almost like part of you's been holding back. Part of you's been perhaps in this newer relationship and this newer energy or this flow, been sort of holding yourself back in different areas of your life. And it's sort of like a coming home. I would say this is like probably like a 2 to 3 month process, a coming home to yourself. And then it's like, here I am, really able to come out of the world in a grounded way. And then there's the moon. And the moon, it can be very positive, and it can also be hard because there's a lot of intuition. There's a lot of flow. There's a lot of connection, but there's a lot of emotion. And so whatever rebirth you've been going through over this last, I would say 6 months to a year, it's almost coming to a culmination where it's time for you to be like, okay, here I am. I'm ready to show up. Like, I'm ready to show up for the next thing. And again, more than just relationship right now. I'm talking about work. I'm talking about identity. I'm talking about pretty big things. And with that, hi, Ari, I answered yours earlier about 15 minutes ago. I'm so sorry. It was easier for me to go through. It was a good one though. So I would say just scroll through about 15 to 20 minutes ago. Okay. And so, and then the moon, though, for you, it's sort of like, there's going to be also a fear, Nettie, of being able to like totally like own that self, because there's new parts of yourself that have been born that people haven't seen yet. And so notice that some of the fear or the hesitation is very, 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 very normal. So I'm excited for you. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you, Ari. I'd love to hear. Yeah. And like I said, I think about 15, 20 minutes. I even tried to find the time exactly, and I couldn't. So, because I was going to type it for you. Okay, so we're going to work with Bob now. And then, Lizzie, if you're here, if you have a question, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to close up after Bob, and feel free to like and subscribe to my page. I'm also curious for you guys that are here. I used to have a community on my website, and I'm thinking about reopening it up, a place for people to talk and to share. Don't do lots of readings and stuff on there, but it's a place for like community to connect. Let me know in the comments, or in the comments if it's something you'd be interested in. I'm thinking if I do it, I might just open it up at first with no charge and just see if we can get some flow going on there. So it's something I'm just thinking about. Okay, awesome, Pooja. Great. I'll let you know if I do it. I'm still figuring it out, some of the formatting. So, okay. Well, I believe you, Mother Nature. It tells me things too, Ozier. It's nature is our biggest teacher. Okay, so Bob, I'm going to take a moment and slow down. I just want to take a moment and check into Bob. And so Bob, just right now, just letting you know, I'm just sending you so much love and so much light. I do feel the angels and energies around you. And I do feel your loved one, and she isn't as close as she was before. That doesn't mean that she's not there, but there's a more an ethereal nature around her. This is a healthy thing. It's a good thing, right? Oh, and as soon as I said that, she's like, no, no, honey. She's like, I'm close. She's like, I'm still right here when he needs me. And so she feels like she's hanging back a little bit. You might not be feeling her as much in your day to day. But was it, what was I going to say? But then she's there when you need her. She came in very close. As soon as I said she felt more ethereal, like she showed up in full form. Um, on some level, it feels like she's protecting you. And so it's not that she's protecting you like I don't feel anything, how do I say this? Sometimes when I'm working with loved ones that are still around sometime after their passing, I'm curious. I'm like, why are you still around? And her passing's still very, very recent, right? But she's not like holding you back. It's not like she's like protecting you and not wanting you to move on. But there's a sense of like holding your heart. Like she's really trying to support you in your grieving process. And she's really trying to support you in a place of like she knows how painful it is, but she's trying to ease the pain for you as much as possible, if that makes sense. I keep seeing butterflies. I think butterflies came out before, and I'm seeing this beautiful purple scarf or energy or something like that. And the energy like of like either a silk or a wool. And there's just this space of like she's just sort of wanting to both wrap you up in it and also support you and soothe you in some way. She is saying that you can do it. You can take each step day by day. That's all you can do. She is also saying she will be there for as long as you need her to be. She will not hold you back from life, but she will also not leave you until you are ready to really say goodbye. And even then, she's not going to leave you. And again, my sense is she's further back a lot of the time, still present. And like I said, she's like, she just came in again. She's like, oh no, she's like, I'm right there. And so just when you need her, just ask, because she's very, very, very present. Okay, I'll let her know that. Hold on one second. You will get paid. Sorry, I'm just going to Ari because I see her question. Um, is is you will get paid, Ari, but it just might take some time. But this is a really powerful opportunity for you. So I would go into it and trust in that process. So, Bob, there's a couple different things that are coming to me when I just check in with her and ask with her about this energy of needing to see her to hear her. Something about birds, and she says when a bird visits, that to know that is her. And I'm not getting a clear answer. I'm really sorry. I'm not getting a clear answer on what the bird is. I can share the feather or the picture of the feather that I'm seeing. It's either blue or brown tail feather, and then it's got a white tip. And she says that's one way you can know that she's there. So it's like the tail feather is like blue or gray or brown. I think blue or gray, and then a white tip. And then there's also something about leaving some water out. Maybe having some water, not by your bed, but like in an altar, or if you have a nice place by the window or something like that. And just like having like a little altar with some water. If you have a rose quartz crystal or rose quartz that you can put in there, is like going and just having that set there. And see, I'm seeing a big sort of heart blossoming from that. And then sort of just going there and maybe meditating for a little bit and connecting with her in that space and place. Um, And so, yeah. And so that's an opportunity perhaps for you to connect with her there. She says she's always available in your dreams, but she says it's not quite time for that yet, if that makes sense. So she is accessible there, but there's something within you or some healing that's going to happen within you. And then you will be able to sense her in your dreams. I'm just going to pick one more card for you. One sec. And we have the spiritual law of attraction, which is Melchizedek. And this to me is just, again, saying, it's just really like, and I know you're doing this, but it's like, like in that altar space with the rose quartz, with clear water, have her picture there, right? Just sit there and connect with her, look into her eyes, bring that energy there. And you don't have to do this all day, every day. Like even like 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night, light a candle, sit there, open your heart. And my sense is that's a place for you to really tap in and tune into her. Okay, and so I'm sending you so much love. Lizzie, I'll do your question in a moment, and just sending you so much love, so much love. And so Ari, yes, I understand. You need the more money to unwind and to get out. Like I said, I think that's where you're feeling really blocked in the process, and that Queen of Wands definitely reflected that in reverse. And so what I would invite you to do is try to relax. Like I think I said, even for like a week, and I know it's hard, but like putting the pressure on you isn't going to make it happen. And it's like, especially for that creative energy to flow, or that energy to flow, and it will open up to you and it will flow. But first we gotta sort of like let it go a little bit. And I know how hard it is, Ari. I really do, especially when you want to go out with your friends and be creative, right? Um, and yet it's in the letting go that creativity can come. Okay, so just what does Lizzie need to know right now, and what good can come? So much love, Ozier. It's good to see you. This is my last reading for today. I appreciate you guys coming. I will be here next week. What does Lizzie need to know? What good will come? Okay. It's interesting. So I see this. I know you asked a little bit about your husband last week, and I'm wondering again if he's still got some challenges and some things going on. And I think they are directly affecting you. But things are good. Things are going to move. It doesn't look good at first. I'm like, oh my God, like, how do I read this for her? But I think it definitely does reflect on some of what's going on in the other areas of your life. Right now, it's feeling challenging. It feels like things have been taken from you. It feels like you have to fight, right? It feels like even when you like are right. Good night, Pooja. I know it's late there. And so it's sort of like this sense of like just feeling stressed. And it's like you against the world and you against this space. Your main partner is having challenges, it's having issues, things aren't easy, things don't feel like they're moving, it's feeling stuck. This is all building up for a reason. There is going to be a death, not an actual physical death. Don't worry about that, right? And so, but there, yes, lots of work. We're in a growing period right now, but there's going to be a death. There's going to be a shift. There's going to be something that shifts and changes, and it's going to turn things over a little bit. Like, holy shit, what do we do? Like, where do we go with that? I don't see it as a loss of job. I don't see it as a health thing. I see it more as an energetic, like this has got to shift. Something's got to shift, whether it be in your life, your partner's life, whether it just be in the collective life, right? Like it's not necessarily just about you, but it's like, where do we go from here? And it's when there is that sort of, it might even be like a challenge or a fight or an argument or something, but like when that happens, then everything's going to be able to fall out. It's more like, oh my God, like all this stress, all this challenge, everything that I'm holding on to can now fall out. And only then will the new opportunities come. And there will be a grounded beginning in work and flow and prosperity in life, in energy. But it's sort of like you got to go through the process right now. And what it reminds me of, I was going through a real challenging time this early summer, spring, early summer. My stepson was sick a lot. We had a lot of challenges going on in that situation, and things even like just, with the co-parenting, and it was hard, and everyone was trying to do their best, but it was just every day it was like, just intense. And I just remember I got to this point and I'm like, I can't do it anymore. Like, I'm done. I don't know what it means, but I'm done. And I wasn't done with my relationship. I'm not done with, I couldn't change some of the other circumstances, but my system was like, I'm done. And from there, everything just shifted where things opened up and got a lot clearer on so many levels for everybody. And so I'm seeing it sort of like something like that. It could be like a shift like that. Like, I'm done. And oh my God, what does that mean? And oh, this is what it means. So good things are coming, but it's going to take a little time. Okay, thanks for showing up, everybody. So good to be here with you. I'm going to close the thread for now. And yeah, I wish you all a beautiful week. Okay. Bye. Namaste.